Please welcome President and CEO, Hyatt Hotels Corporation, Mark Hoplamazian.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me here. When the AAHOA team came and asked that I speak about a leader that I admire, the first person that occurred to me was to talk about Jay Pritzker, my former boss. Here he is with his wife, Cindy. Jay was also the founder of Hyatt and the father of my current boss, Tom Pritzker, chairman of Hyatt. But then I thought, if I got up and talked about Jay Pritzker for 5 minutes, you'd all think that I was just sucking up. So I reflected further to think about other leaders that I admired. And the more I thought about it, the more I started identifying certain elements, certain attributes of leadership that the people that I admired as leaders shared. So the leaders that I was really thinking about are intensely curious and understand the power of listening. They lead and set goals using a compass, not a map. And the third thing that they do consistently is practice empathy. So on the curiosity front, the person that first came to my mind was Eleanor Roosevelt. Eleanor Roosevelt, unlike the 30 or so first ladies that preceded her, was a transformational leader in her own right. She was sort of the mother of modern sisterhood. And she was speaking as a mother when she said, the greatest gift that a mother can give a child is the gift of curiosity. And as I thought about the greatest minds in human history, Socrates, Darwin, Einstein, Da Vinci, they were all intensely curious people. And as I think about it now, I think Jay Pritzker also had a tremendous streak of curiosity. When I was a young member of his team, I would ask incessant questions, most of which were so-called stupid questions, but he assured me from the very beginning that there is no such thing as a stupid question. So he really lived that sense of curiosity, was a great listener, and instilled that in me, and I think we've taken that forward at Hyatt into current day. As to leading with a compass and not a map, the leader that immediately comes to my mind is John F. Kennedy, who soon after he was sworn in was setting out a mandate for the United States to send a man to the moon and bring him back safely to Earth, which happened 8 years later. In a world in which there was a lot of micromanagement going on, here was someone setting a macro management kind of goal, a very, very ambitious future goal, but didn't prescribe how it would get done. What he did do is enlist fantastic people and set them to work on achieving a common goal, so created a lot of alignment, but let them actually express their own creativity and express themselves. And as I think about it, that sense of setting a big goal is something Jay also did. Now that I reflect on in the late 1970s, Jay Pritzker was looking at an architecture prize, creating an architecture prize. It's now known as the Pritzker Architecture Prize. But instead of prescribing how it got done, he enlisted great architects and set them loose to do it. And here we are 39 years later, and it is considered to be the Nobel Prize of Architecture. And this year, the recipient, just announced, is Balkrishna Doshi, the very first Indian architect to receive the Pritzker Architecture Prize, coming soon. The award ceremony will come soon. Which leads me to empathy. And there is no greater practitioner of empathy I can think of than Mahatma Gandhi. When you think about the fact that his power was derived from his moral authority, and the fact that he gave up his first world life to walk in the shoes, so to speak, of the world's least privileged, he ended up with a lot of insights and then translated those insights into actions that we're all familiar with. So in that way, I think he was the greatest practitioner of empathy ever. And as I think about other examples, I guess I'm drawn back to Jay Pritzker one more time. And Jay actually expressed and really exercised empathy when he founded Hyatt Hotels. When he was stranded at the LA airport in 1957, it occurred to him that jet travel would cause a lot more business people to be staying at airport hotels and motels. And as a consequence of that, he struck a deal to buy the hotel, the original Hyatt house at LAX, and so Hyatt was born. And so this practice of empathy relates directly to our purpose as a company at Hyatt, which is to care for people so they can be their best. It is the thing that keeps us curious, making sure that we're listening twice as much as we speak, using this in proportion, making sure that we set goals but don't tell people how they should achieve what they need to achieve, and finally, to practice empathy and connect with our guests, with each other, and with our owners and franchise partners. And with that, I thank you for having me here today.